Welcome to the first food related video. So with these videos, I'm choosing to do it here. I don't want to do it in the kitchen because I want to stress how easy things can be. So all I'm going to use is an induction burner. Today I don't need anything else, but I'll have a cutting board, just very simple, and everything I do will be simple and quick, just to show that you can have good food quick. The only thing I will use is the oven in there, in the kitchen. Everything else I'm going to do right here. So I don't have a fancy setup at all. So today, it's kombucha. I've had a few people ask me about kombucha, so today's the perfect day. So I start with sugar, and I have a pot of water here. So I use some kind of a distilled water. You don't want to use tap water because it has bleach in it, and the bleach can kill the live culture here. And so this is the SCOBY. This is the live culture that's going to ferment the kombucha. So I have 14 cups of water here that I'm starting to boil, and then I have organic cane sugar. So same thing with the sugar. You can use white sugar, but the additives and the bleaches in it, they can also hurt your bacterial culture. So the other thing you'll need is 2 cups of starter liquid. So if you buy this from someone, if you buy a SCOBY, it's kind of a gross looking thing. If you buy this from someone, make sure that they give you 2 cups of starter liquid. I know quite a few people, they'll just give the SCOBY with a little bit of liquid, but you need 2 cups. It's not the end of the world though if they don't. You can use vinegar. It just, your first batch won't taste as good. So you'll have to kind of have a first batch and struggle through drinking it, or discard it and then start a new one. So it just saves you that step. So now that the water is getting pretty hot, I'm going to take the 2 cups of sugar, I'm going to put it in the jar, and then I'm going to take a ladle and just take enough water to melt the sugar. It's easier to melt the sugar in a small amount of water than it is when it's full. So it only takes about a minute or 2 stirring. So then you will get your hot water here and pour the rest of that hot water, after I turn the beeping off, you pour the rest of the hot water in here with the sugar water. And then the 8 tea bags you'll need. So this is black tea. So I will post in the comments what brands I use for the sugar and the tea. So a thing I like to do is, if they do have the tabs on it with the string, I gather the tabs together and I tear them off, and then I tie the string into a knot. When I first started doing it, I was just throwing the bags in, and then when you're stirring it up, it gets all tangled around the spoon, and then when you have to take them out, you have to pull each bag out, and they're hot. So this just helps. You drop them in, you just have to grab one and yank the whole thing out. So these two, the starter liquid and the SCOBY, will go in after. So this sits just like this for about, I like to do mine for about 45 minutes. So if you like it a little less powerful, go less, but I like 45 minutes. It's right for me. I like it a little on the stronger side. So if you don't, maybe go half an hour. or even 15 minutes. It'll just be your personal preference. So you can taste the water. You can just dip a spoon in and just see how strong it is after certain amounts of time. You can go 15, 30, 45, even up to an hour. I wouldn't go more than an hour because then the tea does really start to get bitter. But I will let this sit for 45 minutes and then we will finish with the SCOBY and the starter liquid. Okay, so it's been 45 minutes. This is ready now. I'm gonna take my spoon and just grab tea bags. They come out nice all at once. Squeeze them out. And then the 2 cups of starter liquid go in. And then you take the SCOBY and then just drop it in. And then you cover it with whatever. There's the coffee filter options, and you can use a piece of cheesecloth too. So you just put that on there without it sticking to your fingers. Put that on, put an elastic band on here, and then you'll put this in a place out of direct sunlight and moderately, not hot, not cold, just a nice temperature. You don't want to leave it in a space that gets really hot, but you don't want to leave it in a space that gets really cold. So it's kind of what's comfortable to your skin, because this living culture is this, it's the same as what we have in our body, our living cultures. So if it's comfortable to you, then it'll be comfortable for this. And fermenting time, it depends. So for me and the space I use, it's about 2 weeks. It takes about 2 weeks to be ready. Depending on all the different conditions of your space that you put yours in, it could take a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So for me, after 1 week, I'll you can use a spoon, or you can dip a straw in and pull some out and just give it a little taste. And you want it to be a little bit sweet, but not overly sweet. It's a hard thing to describe. Once you get there, you'll know. You don't want to taste the sweetness, you want the bitterness. So I'd say it's like an 80% bitterness and 20% sweet. You want the sweetness just to be on the end, because you want the sugar to be out of this. You don't want to be drinking basically a soda here. You want it to be a healthy drink. So the process is that the bacteria eat the sugar, so you're left with a sugar-free drink. So you just want to keep testing it, and once it gets to that point where it's you can also go to where you don't want the bitterness anymore, because you're going to have to drink this. So if you want it a little sweeter, stop it a little sweeter. If you want it a little bit more bitter, let it go a little longer, but don't let it go over what you want, or else you're just going to have a bunch of liquid to dump down the drain. So in 2 weeks, I will make another video of what to do next, where you can flavor it or just drink it from there. And the one thing I did forget to mention was that you can also change the recipe to go to whatever size jar you want. You can use a 1 liter jar if that's what you want. I use this 2 gallon because, 2 gallon. That's 2 gallons. I use this 2 gallon because for me, I don't want to do all the work for 2 glasses of kombucha. I make this, and you can put it in the fridge, and it's good. It's good for months in the fridge. So if you make it now, you don't have to do it every week, like if you were making it in a 1 liter. And then I will also put the recipe in somewhere in the comments or the description, whatever you're seeing it on, it'll be there somewhere, as well as, like I said, the ingredients that I use. So I hope this was helpful, and let me know in the comments if you make it and how you like it. Have a good day.